You might be 11 stories up in your office here, but you can look out that window, and at any time during the day, you can look down, you can see these people gathering on the streets. Sometimes when you come to work, I'm sure that there are people that are camping or out there.
Yeah.
It's an epidemic. It's tough. What are you doing? What are you doing about them? We know what we got planned for the military.
Yeah. One of the things from an overall perspective, we're really trying to move to, giving people the tools to be successful. And it's not just about an emergency bed for the night. That's important. But it's really about wraparound services and the housing first model. Mental health counseling, substance abuse help. As we know, many times men and women are duly diagnosed, either mental health or substance abuse problems. So you have to be able to take care of the whole individual to really truly help them get back on their feet. So for example, we got away from just putting up a winter tent for a couple of months in the city. Now we have a year-round shelter where we're doubling the amount of folks that we're able to help. And the good news is that so far, not only are we doubling the amount that we're helping, but we're also doubling the amount of men and women that we transitioned out of being homeless. That's the goal, is to help people actually get back on their feet, and it's one that I feel strongly about.
There we have Alpha Square. You're referring to that, where they can live
Alpha
downtown.
Square and Bob McElroy,
Right.
Great example of doing the right thing for San Diego.
We need more Alpha Squares.
We do.
Is that your budget? Somebody's budget? Is there a plan for that?
You look at Alpha Square, you look at what we're doing at the Hotel Churchill. I mean, it's all, to answer your question, it's a combination. It takes everybody. It takes the city. It takes the county. It takes our federal government. One of the things that I'm pressing very hard, and we had the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development out in San Diego just a couple of months ago, to make sure that we're getting our fair share of help from the federal government. And we got some work to do on that. Because when we're rehabbing either apartments or others to provide, or building new construction like Alpha Square, that's how you provide, the stability, not the roof over the head, and the wraparound services that help somebody make that transition.
These guys are afraid of going to jail. Cops come by every day. They got to try to clear the street. High rises are being built. None of these high rise owners want to have somebody sleeping at their front door.
Yeah, no, and look, we don't want any man and woman to be out there on the streets at night. I mean, what we do is we want to say, look, there's an opportunity for you to get, the helping hand that you need. Somebody that's going to help, not only, as I said, just for a night, but to help get back on the feet, help with some job skills and others. And, if we keep doing things that we did the old ways, we're not going to have that success. And one of the things that we've really said, and I give a lot of credit to my colleagues on the city council, is we're really adopting this housing first model, and our providers. Making sure, for example, that everybody's working off the same software and database system. So somebody checks in and needs help at one service, they say, no, this is not for you, but have you ever thought about going over here? And making sure we are matching services with the needs. And so we're trying to use technology better. We're trying to make sure that everybody's pulling in the same direction. And we're really pushing on that housing first model. So it's how do you help break some of the cycle? How do you help provide mental health systems and help? How do you really kick some of the issues on drug and alcohol abuse? Because oftentimes that stands in the way from somebody getting back on and being productive.
A lot of businesses want to push the people away, push them somewhere. There's talk of maybe having a big fenced area where they can live inside this fence. But of course, those fenced areas get overrun eventually when people find out San Diego's got a fenced-in area for helping our cause. Yeah. Let's go there. What do you do? It's getting worse.
Yeah, it's about providing a stable housing environment. It's not about temporary help, right? I mean, it's about permanent, supportive housing.
Can you get the support of your colleagues to be able to get done what you want to get done?
Oh, I think that is the good news, that you're seeing attitudes change, you're seeing perceptions change, and you're seeing people say, if you actually want to make a difference, if you want to do the actual, the best thing to help somebody make that transition, permanent, supportive housing, the services that go with that, that's what Housing First is all about. Give me a stable place to be, not for just a night, but, couple of months. How it takes to get back, and give me this wraparound services, counseling, drug abuse, job training, that says we're caring about you. We know you've had some difficult times, but we value you, and that I think is the right thing to do, and it allows people the best opportunity for success. Because at the end of the day, that's what we want. I'm convinced that nobody wants to be sleeping on the street, and nobody wants to see their fellow neighbors sleeping on the street.
One last thing, and that would be, what does Kevin Faulconer see realistically 5 years from now, 10 years from now? I think all this is going to happen overnight. It hasn't yet.
Yeah. Now, it's one of the things that I'm really that I've really hit home to me, serving as mayor. To make a difference, you have to have all of the agencies and all the levels of government work together. You cannot have individual silos. When that starts happening, then you're not sharing information. Then you're not getting the total picture. And I think if we look particularly at what's happened over the last year and a half, we're seeing more work with the city and the county, I think better than I've ever seen. You're seeing providers trying to break down some of the walls about, let's not worry about turf issues, let's worry about giving people the help. The regional continuum of care is a good example of that, chaired by my colleague Todd Gloria. People are getting to the point, understanding that it is about housing first and it is providing wraparound services. And the more people come to that understanding, the better off that we're going to be able to do to provide help and to make sure that we're targeting those dollars in a way that makes a real difference.